Alright, so this is kind of my first video on YouTube here on strategy. We're going to be talking about how to play pocket aces correctly. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be slow playing pocket aces probably. You know, you slow play pocket aces, and when you slow play them, a lot of players, you got to understand, a lot of players, they're going to be obeying the small pot, big pot rule, which is when you have a small hand, make a small pot. When you have a big hand, you make a big pot. And when you come in there with this misconception that these pocket aces are a huge, big hand, and you're going to slow play them, well, the other guy who has a trashy hand, let's just say he's got 2-7 option, and the board comes 2-7 jack, okay? He's probably going to want to make a big hand on the flop. So now when you get all your money all in on the flop, that guy with the trash hand suddenly has the better hand. But at the same time, you got this misconception just because it's pocket aces that you have a big hand. It's not a big hand when you're post-flop. It's a big hand when you're pre-flop. Okay? It is a big hand post-flop when you have a set. Okay? But you have to control. Now, I'm not saying it's a small hand either, though, when it's post-flop. But when you're getting to the turn in the river, and that pot's getting big, it tends to mean you're going to lose because the pot's big for a reason. Another guy, he's got a hand. He's making it big for a reason. He's not just trying to bluff you out usually. I mean, sure, there's some people who might try to do that. There's some people, but I mean, it's just you have to obey the fundamental strategy of keeping the pot small when you have a small hand. Now, I'm not saying make the pot really small when you have pocket aces, but I'm just saying control it in a logical way where you're not losing very much by the river, okay? Control it to an extent, okay? If it starts to get really big, if he's starting to push a lot of action, you get out of there. He's almost always got a bigger hand than you if he's really pushing the aggression on you. And simply one pair is not going to do it because in the end, pocket aces is just one pair. Which is the best pair to have pre-flop, and you want it all in every time pre-flop. But when I say you want it all in every time pre-flop, now I've seen this online quite a bit. People just flat out shove, or maybe someone opens from middle position, you're on the button, and you shove. Everyone's gonna fold. They know what you got, but yeah, I mean I think that's pretty uncommon in a lot of ways, because if you're going to shove, I mean, everyone's going to know. But I mean, there's some people out there who do it that just shove aces, which is pretty crazy, because you're just giving away the strength of your hand, which is ridiculous. I think I covered pretty much everything, almost. One last thing I do want to touch on, though, is when you open and this kind of relates to why you should keep the pot small. You don't have to be slow playing for this idea to be effective. Okay, if you open with pocket aces, if someone calls in the blinds, you're on the button, okay? Or maybe you open under the gun, okay? And someone calls on the button, the blinds fold, and they know that your range is tight from under the gun. From that early position. They know you're going to have a tight range. They're probably going to call you deuces through like 10 or whatever, okay? Because they know your range is very tight there. They know if they hit a set, you're probably going to get paid off. It's true for a lot of players. But the goal here is to control pot size when this type of the spot comes up and not get lost in the whole thought process of ace, big hand, get all the money in. This is post-flop. This is not the same story as pre-flop. You need to be careful here. You need to control the pot size. If he's pushing too much aggression, get out of there. He's probably got a set. Okay? That's pretty much all for this video. I hope it kind of helped you guys out. And any ideas or thoughts or whatever, just post comments down there and just post video replies if you want to too. I would love to see some video replies. And I really do hope it helped you guys out. Thanks for watching.